For centuries, naval power has been the ultimate symbol of a nation's military might. Massive warships, bristling with guns and packed with sailors, projected power across the globe. Control the seas, and you control the world. This was the undisputed doctrine, from the age of sail to the era of the dreadnought and the aircraft carrier. But what if I told you that this entire paradigm, this bedrock of military strategy, is being fundamentally shattered? What if the king of the ocean is no longer the billion-dollar warship, but something far smaller, faster, and launched from hundreds of miles away on land? Today we're diving deep into one of the most significant and perhaps unnerving military transformations of our time. The rise of land-based anti-ship missiles, and how they are making the open ocean a no-go zone for even the most advanced navies. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, and the implications are staggering. Let's rewind a bit. Historically, sinking a warship was an incredibly difficult task. You needed another, more powerful warship to slug it out in a gun battle, or a submarine to sneak in close for a torpedo attack, or a swarm of carrier-based aircraft to brave a storm of anti-air fire. The ship was the fortress, and it took a fortress to defeat it. This is why nations invested trillions in building and maintaining massive fleets. An aircraft carrier, for instance, isn't just a ship. It's a floating city, a mobile airbase, protected by a screen of destroyers, cruisers, and submarines. A carrier strike group. For decades, this was considered nearly invincible. Then came the missile age. The first real shock to the system was in 1967, when an Egyptian missile boat, using Soviet-made Styx missiles, sank the Israeli destroyer Eilat. It was a wake-up call. A small, cheap boat could take out a major warship from over the horizon. Navies adapted, developing sophisticated defensive systems, like the Phalanx CIWS, that are 2D2-looking machine gun that spits out a wall of lead to shoot down incoming threats. They developed electronic countermeasures to jam missile guidance systems and decoys to lure them away. It became a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, offense versus defense. But the game has changed again. And the change is revolutionary. The new threat isn't just coming from small boats or submarines. It's coming from the land. Imagine a missile launcher, hidden deep inland, camouflaged in a forest or a mountain range, hundreds of miles from the coast. This launcher fires a missile that screams towards the sea at supersonic, or even hypersonic speeds. That's more than 5 times the speed of sound. These aren't your grandfather's missiles. Modern anti-ship ballistic missiles, or ASBMs, like China's DF-21D, nicknamed the Carrier Killer, and the more advanced DF-26, follow a terrifying trajectory. They launch into the upper atmosphere, almost into space, before plummeting down towards their target at incredible velocity. Think of it like a meteor strike. You can aim. So, how does this change everything? First, range and cost. A single land-based missile system costs a fraction of a modern destroyer, let alone an aircraft carrier. A nation can deploy hundreds, even thousands, of these missiles along its coastline, creating a vast, lethal bubble of denial. This strategy is called anti-access area denial, or A2AD. The goal is to make it so dangerous for an enemy fleet to operate within a certain area that they simply couldn't enter. The cost-exchange ratio is brutally effective. You're retrading a multi-million-dollar missile for a multi-billion-dollar warship and the lives of thousands of sailors. Second, the challenge of defense. How do you stop something coming down at you at Mach 10? Traditional anti-missile systems are designed for sea-skimming threats that fly low and relatively slow. Defending against a ballistic missile descending from the edge of space is a whole different ballgame. The ship's radar has only a few precious seconds to detect a threat, track it, and launch an interceptor. The interceptor itself has to be incredibly fast and agile to hit a target moving at such extreme speeds. It's like trying to hit a bullet with another bullet, except one of the bullets is falling from the sky. And it's not just about speed. These new missiles are getting smarter. They can perform evasive maneuvers in their terminal phase, making them even harder to intercept. Some are rumored to have advanced seekers that can distinguish a high-value aircraft carrier from its escort ships, or even decoys. This is a far cry from the simple fire and forget missiles of the past. We're talking about intelligent, hypersonic weapons. The real-world implications of this are being played out as we speak. We've seen how Houthi rebels in Yemen, using relatively less sophisticated anti-ship missiles, successfully target and damage commercial and military vessels in the Red Sea. Navy demonstrated that even a non-state group with access to this technology can effectively challenge maritime traffic and disrupt global trade. Now, imagine what a major military power with a fully developed A2AD network could do. They could effectively lock down strategic choke points like the Strait of Malacca or the South China Sea, holding global commerce hostage. This creates a terrifying dilemma for naval planners. How do you project power when your most powerful assets, your aircraft carriers, and large surface combatants, are suddenly vulnerable big, fat targets, as one analyst put it? Do you risk a multi-billion-dollar carrier strike group to sail into a known missile engagement zone? Probably not. So, what's the answer? The world's navies are scrambling to adapt. One approach is to develop better defenses. We are seeing huge investments in next-generation interceptor missiles, powerful new radars, and even directed energy weapons like high-powered lasers and microwave cannons that could fry a missile's electronics instantly. Another strategy is to change the fleet itself. The future navy might look very different. Instead of a few large, exquisite, and expensive ships, we might see a shift towards a more distributed fleet of smaller, stealthier, and even unmanned vessels. Think swarms of robotic ships and submarines, each carrying a few missiles, spreading out over a vast area. Losing one wouldn't be a catastrophic blow, and this distributed lethality makes it much harder for an enemy to find and target the entire force. We're also seeing a renewed focus on long-range weapons. If your ships can't get close, then your weapons have to have a longer reach. This means developing new long-range missiles for ships and aircraft that can strike targets from outside the enemy. SA-2AD. Bubble. The race is on to outrange the other side. The era of the unchallenged naval superfortress may be coming to a close. The ocean is no longer a safe haven. It's becoming a transparent, highly contested battle space where anything that can be seen can be hit. The land, for the first time in modern history, can now decisively strike back against the sea. This shift from sea-based power to land-based dominance over the waves is a revolution in military affairs, and its consequences will shape global politics and conflicts for decades to come. The silent, camouflaged missile launcher on the coast has become the new master of the sea. Thanks for watching. This is a complex and rapidly evolving topic, so if you found this interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the technology and strategy shaping our world. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.